Anyway, now I want to bring Bob, a very special person, and let's talk about RYLA. It's about a few weeks later, actually, it's going to start. So here's the Bob.
Good morning, everyone. As Kim said, I'm Bob Huffman. I have the distinct pleasure of being your RYLA chairman for District 6760. With me is Aubree, Duncan, who is one of the young ladies I am incredibly proud of. She is a RYLA-tarian. This will be her 7th RYLA that she has directly impacted. And Aubree's going to come up and talk to you a little bit about RYLA here momentarily. First off, before we go too deep into what is RYLA, I want to thank each and every one of the Rotarians in the room. Because of you and your advocacy for our program that we're permitted to run in this district, we've grown beyond our ability to cope with the number of students you wanted to send. That's good and it's bad. It means we're doing something that someone finds value in. The downside is I just don't have the staff to grow bigger. And given the two dynamics of high quality or high quantity, I will not take quantity over quality. And if it's beyond the scope of our abilities to run a program that we're proud of and this district deserves, simply put, I'm not going to do it. I won't have my name and reputation associated with something other than the A+ product because it's what you deserve. Okay, a little bit about RYLA. I thought what we do is we kind of follow the 5 W's. Who am I? I told you that already. What is RYLA? RYLA is the most flexible of the former name, like Prince, the New Generations program, formerly known as New Generations Youth Service. RYLA is the most flexible of those programs. You can conduct a RYLA for an Interact group. You can conduct a RYLA for those youth involved with Rotaract or of that age. There's no set time duration. We don't have to meet twice a month like you'll hear from Interact. It's an incredibly flexible program. What have we elected to concentrate on with your program? Your program concentrates on emerging juniors and seniors that we can train and then send back into your communities as leaders inside of your Interact programs. And you're going to hear more about Interact here shortly. Could we do this differently? Sure we can. I've heard arguments about the cost. $400 is a lot of money for a small club. Hey, got it. Take a look at what they're charging for this district conference. It's $35 for lunch. $35 covers one kid at RYLA for one day for lodging and meals. So really, any counterpoint you have about the price, I've got a counterpoint too, and I'm willing to engage in the argument with you, and I'll feed on that discussion. RYLA is $400. It's 5 days, it's 4 nights, it's high energy. We, the staff, go from before 7 o'clock in the morning, and after we've put the youth, they're not kids, they're youth, after we've tucked them in at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, we then have our staff meeting that goes until 12 or 1 o'clock. And as Aubree will tell you, the diet at what's the diet at RYLA?
Pixie sticks, soda, Mountain Dew, hot
So now you get the idea of what my staff's running on during the week. Okay, RYLA-tarians are nominated by your local clubs, and they come to us. We work on them for those 5 days, 4 nights. When is RYLA? RYLA this year, we'll do our staff training on the 3rd of June. That's my day to concentrate on the 12 or 15 people that we are directly responsible for. And much like the original organizational chart that you'll find in some other document, he went forth with 12. And that's exactly what I concentrate on. I concentrate on 6 counselors in training. We have a staff of 3 different facilitators. There's 2 of us now engaged in RYLA for the administration because it's gotten so large, and I've had some help with some background checks that have to be done. So we've had to grow our administrative staff. We will take in students on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. From the time we take those students in and we hand them their Myers-Briggs booklet, they are fully engaged in RYLA until they graduate on Saturday and clean out their dorms room at 3:30 Saturday afternoon on the 8th. Next year's RYLA, and I need to work this out with Tommy to make sure it fits in the exchange calendar, will either be from the 2nd through the 7th of June or the 9th through the 14th of June. And I have concerns about that date on the 13th.
Yeah, that might not work.
Yeah, and I've got to dovetail this with the requirements of the university that we use. We conduct RYLA at the Austin Peay State University campus, and we do that for a wide number of reasons. Number 1, is where my club meets. Number 2, they are very gracious in allowing us to bring in a staff of 75 or 80 people for a week. They give us the very best dorms, they support us very well in the cafeteria, and they support us in a beautiful setting and group of facilities. Nothing is too hard. If it's raining and I can't get outside to do the training I need to do, they give me the ballroom, they give us the gymnasium, they give us anything we need to run a successful program. I can't come up with a counter argument as to why to leave that organization that's been so gracious and kind to us. RYLA, the why, I'll tell you the why. I get more from our mentees and our proteges than they get from us at Rotary and from RYLA, and that's why I'm personally vested in this program. I want you to hear from Aubree now in the first person what RYLA has done, what it's meant for her. Because frankly, you don't want to listen to a 50-year-old guy talk about a youth program. You want to hear it from the person involved. Aubree, please, the floor is yours, ma'am.
Aubree, for filming sake, if you don't mind, stand more in front of the flags in that light. I apologize if you're up there.
Yeah, so like Bob said, my name is Aubree Duncan. I've been involved with RYLA for, this is going to be my 6th year. I've been to 7 RYLAs. If that tells you anything, I actually drove to New York last summer in the trunk of a car pretty much for about 18 hours just so I can go see another RYLA in New Jersey, which had about 300 RYLAtarians. It was ridiculous. But I went to RYLA twice, not just once. I went one year and I was like, okay, this is awesome. I want to come back. Broke the barrier, went again, and yeah, I fell in love with RYLA. Like RYLA, I cry every time I talk about RYLA. It's ridiculous. Pretty much, you go to this camp and you just are forced into it pretty much. You're like, your guidance counselor comes up to you, you're going to be a part of this RYLA club, you're going to go to this conference, it's going to be great, and you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Every time the new RYLAtarians come in, their faces are just like, okay, well, I'm surrounded by 60 different strangers, and they're all telling me I'm going to have a great time, but I don't even know their names. How am I going to get to know these people? How am I going to learn from this? And it's crazy because when they get there, they're in their little cocoon, and then when they leave, they're the most beautiful butterfly in the world. Like, RYLA changes them that much. I became a counselor in training, and it was like, I was testing the waters. I wanted to know if I could actually do this, because the thing is, being a part of RYLA, you have to be 100% involved. You have to want to give the new youth that are coming in the best experience ever, and you have to want to better yourself while doing this. And I would not be going on my 7th RYLA if I didn't feel as if this was really helping the youth that come in. I mean, I went to my first RYLA when I was 15 years old. I'm about to turn 21 next month. And I am still just pushing. I talked to Bob the entire way here. Not about how was school, not about what's your mom doing. It was all about RYLA. How are we going to better this? How are we going to make sure that when these youth come in, they're able to leave and they're able to say, you know what, I learned this, so I'm going to go back to my school. I'm going to go join an Interact club. I'm going to get involved so that I can help other people know about leadership, know about how to communicate to people and how to hear what people say and to use constructive criticism and not get hurt by, you're a little bit too loud. How about you be quiet for a second so that this introvert can talk, so that people come out of their shells. I talk about RYLA to so many people. I have talked about Rotary to so many people. Shelter Box is an organization that's a part of RYLA. And I wear my Shelter Box shirt around campus. I wear my RYLA shirts around campus. I have my RYLA pins on my backpack. Everything I do, anytime I can speak about RYLA or Rotary, I'm like, hey guys, we have to do this. People need to know what this is. I'm in Alabama even trying to get involved in different Rotary clubs down there, and Rotaract clubs, just so that I can help the youth in different places. Because I know that RYLA, this district, 65 and 60, the RYLA program that goes on, it makes an impact. I've seen it progress over these 6 years that I've been here, from a camp that I went to and I was like, hey, this is cool, to now, I just want to make it better, and I want to make it bigger, and I want to, not bigger, like you said, quality over quantity, because you don't want to have counselors and CITs, counselors in training, and facilitators that are halfway into it. Because this is something you actually have to dedicate time to, you have to dedicate yourself to, because the youth are important. You're not going to have a better world if the youth aren't learning these great leadership skills that they need. And I glean because of RYLA. I speak about it and my heart starts racing. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack right now. Because you guys know I've been counting down the days. One of the other counselors, as soon as we found out that the day of Rotary, the day of RYLA, she wrote on my Facebook wall, oh my gosh, 31 more days. Like, that's exactly how it is, and we are family. You know what? I am completely fine with having my cholesterol go up however many points just because I'm eating 15,066. Because I will sleep 2 hours a night to make sure that the RYLAtarians that come in have an awesome time. And they're like, wow, my counselor is really energetic. That's crazy. I'm tired. You know, I was over here like, let's go. And they love it. And they learn because of your excitement. And they learn because if you are into RYLA and if you put your feet into it and you just dive right in, they're going to see that, and they're going to want to come back, and they're going to want to use those skills that they have in their communities. It's not just a week where you meet new people and you have a great time and you're around a bunch of other students that are your age. You're surrounded by people that want to grow like you do. And I'm a part of RYLA because I like seeing the transformation. Some students come in and they don't even speak. And then on graduation, they're like, hey, can I give a speech that's 10 minutes long? Can I just talk about how great this is? It doesn't make sense. This camp, literally, investing that $400 in a student is worth it. I want to kiss the person's feet who paid that $400 the first time.
Good luck, Kim Kim. Just like Kim Kim, always going to volunteer for something.
But what I want you to take away from this is RYLA is a great program. And I want everybody in this room, if you don't know much about it, just pull me aside and I can speak to you for 12 more hours. Like, I can talk and talk and talk about RYLA. The 6 years that I've been in this program, I've just taken more things. After the first year, I was like, wow, I'm a great person. After the second year, I was like, oh man, I'm a pretty good person. After this past year, I'm like, man, I could go tell Obama how to be a leader too. I could go to the governor to see him. Just because of his hand, like, RYLA is the best. And that's all I'm going to say.
How can you not love her and them and all these programs?
There's no passion in youth services right here.
No. You know, the reason I go RYLA every year, I skip 1 year because I was deployed to Philippines. Actually, it's for me. When I hang around with Aubree, I'm so pumped up. I'm so energized. I'm so passionate. because God like her. I don't want to think she's the only one RYLA participant who has that heart. No, every one of them who graduate had the same heart. So thanks to you, club, who raising money to send students to RYLA program. It is wonderful, wonderful, and she's a perfect example.